So here we are then, ladies and gents, the start of my most ambitious career mode ever, the new FIA Formula 2 Lando's Road to F1.
I think I'm in need of a quiet walk home, and as we step forward we would rather be alone. So make some noise while you've got time. Take this poison for your mind. Who knows, you could be gone by this time tomorrow. And I don't know where we're going, but I take pride in not knowing. And you say I will be the one to let this go.
So here we are then, ready for round 2 of the season in the Bahrain Grand Prix, obviously. We had the feature race yesterday, obviously, if you want to go check that back out, I would highly recommend doing so. It sort of sets up the scene for the second round of the season. But obviously we do have the top 8 reverse, which leaves Louis Delatraz, Nick De Vries and Max Gunther on the front 3 places on the grid. We would start up in P5 here, and obviously with a really good shot of being able to potentially score a podium in this race. But obviously for those of you that have seen Formula 2 sprint races, it can usually get very hectic. But here we are then on the grid, ready for the second round of the season. It's all the red lights are now on, and it's lights out, and away we go. They're off to a fairly poor start as we come in towards turn 1 here. We will be able to get a fairly decent drive on the end of the sort of the getaway phase there, but going in towards turn 1, no chance that we're going to be able to make any sort of diving moves. Alexander Albon, though, does go for a bit of a dive on me. That runs me out a little bit wide on the exit of the corner, but we do hold on there. But Gunther has slowed up Russell absolutely massively on the exit of the corner there, so we're going to be able to get past George Russell. Obviously, well, he's looking like he's going to dominate the real-life Formula 2 championship this year there, but just look at how slow Gunther's going through these next couple of corners there. Russell almost runs into the back of B, and just have a look in the rearview mirror at the moment as we come in towards the S section here. Alexander Albon and Jordan Russell just absolutely going at it with each other there, but we're focused on trying to get down the inside of Maximilian Gunther here as we come in towards the heaven there. A little bit of contact made between the pair of us, and unfortunately that has sent us right the way around there. Just that little bit of unsettling over the curbs has completely cost us there. We drop all the way down to P11 off the start of this race with a quick little 360-degree spin there. But yeah, not what I needed off the start of this race. That's Makino, I think it was, trying to look up the inside of me as we came in towards the double left-hander there. But yeah, not the start to the race that we really wanted then. It looked quite good off the original launch, but then yeah, just as we came through the hairpin corner there, got them settled, and unfortunately was sent right the way around there. Fukushima has already had to retire from this race as well though, so not the ideal start to his World Championship hopes this year around there either. Also, he is now out of the race of the first retirement of the sprint race here, but we're now looking all over the back of Luca Ghiotto here. Makino also drops out from this race as well, so not a good start. I think that's both Japanese drivers already out of this race here, but as I said, we're trying to pile on the pressure to Luca Ghiotto here as we come out of the final corner to start a lap 2 here. Are we going to be able to get a good run down the front straight here? You can just see all the AI really like to fan out down the straights, and obviously you'll just condense back when you get down in towards the braking zones and the corners here. But I think we've got Alexander Albon and Alessio Lorandi here going side by side through turn 1 and turn 2 here. And this is really slowing Luca Giotto down here, almost bringing me back in to this fight here. They're almost going 3 wide up the second straight here as we come down in towards turn 4 here. I think Giotto there's going to try and look up the inside. There's no room for him. Completely cuts the corner there. Alexander Albon has to almost take evasive action there on the exit of the corner. But Albon takes a very, very defensive line in towards the next corner, so we can be able to swoop right around the outside of the pair of them there. Jack Aitken as well, unfortunately, has fallen to the wayside there, so not a good start to the year for the ART driver. So 3 drivers already out in the opening round. Well, the sprint race here in Bahrain. But on to the end, though, of lap 2, the start of lap 3, we were still trying to pile on the pressure to Lorandi here. Already over 190 miles an hour as we break in towards him when they lock the rears as we go into the corner. That was almost flashbacks to the opening round of the season where we dropped it at the lock in the rears there. We do keep it pointing in the right direction there, and now we find ourselves back up into P8. Obviously, in the sprint race, the points are a little bit different, and we are now back up into the points. Obviously, it is not the top 10, it is back down to just 8 drivers that will score points. And now, by lap 4, we were piling on the pressure to Ralph Boschung here, obviously the race winner in the opening round of the season. We're going to try and look down the inside of him there, of the MP Motorsport driver there, but he finds the grip on the curbs on the exit of the corner there. What a fantastic job that is by him, really taking note. I don't think I could do that on those curbs there. But you can see coming in towards the next corner there, he runs me out a little bit wide. I don't want to take any gambles over those curbs either there, so we do drop back there, and that's been a little bit of a failed attempt to pile on the pressure to Ralph Boschung here as we come on towards the end, though, of lap 4. We would slowly but surely get back in to pouncing distance here out of the final corner on the end of lap 4, the start of lap 5 here. Use the DRS, use the slipstream as we come down in towards turn 1 here. Are we going to be able to close enough to get a move on Boschung here? Are we going to be able to look to the inside? Yes, we do. It gives me the run. We're going to be nicely comfortably ahead of him as we get in towards the braking zone there. He tries to swing it right around the outside, but not able to make that work here. And now we move ourselves back up into P7 of this race here. But on to lap 6, they're already over halfway through this race. Obviously, the sprint race is very, very short in this F2 series here. We're now trying to pile on the pressure to Artem Markelov here as we go right around the outside in towards the penultimate corner here. The AI really tend to struggle then when they try to play defensive obviously over myself here. But as we come out in towards the final corner, it is a drag race here currently between myself and Artem Markelov. We do have the place, but he is on the inside there. He's going to be able to get a little bit braver on the brakes. Takes a lot of curb though through the final corner. But out of the final corner, are we going to be able to line up a slingshot move there? We duck into the slipstream, duck back out and get as close as we possibly can to the rear of that car, of the Russian time car. As we come in towards turn 1, that we should be comfortably ahead of Artem Markelov. He dives it back up the inside there, not wanting to give it the place just yet there. We have to take a little bit of evasive action. He attacks the curbs, doesn't give himself the good run on the exit of the corner there. And that is now us up into P6 of this race. So what good battles we've been able to have with the AI so far. But then we're trying to close up the back of Roy Nissany here, obviously the driver that finished P2 in the opening round of the season there, makes a little bit of a mistake as we come in towards this final sector of the lap. Then parks it in towards the penultimate corner. We have to take evasive action, then dip the wheels on the sand, and that is us in the wall and basically out of the second round of the season. And that was not what I wanted. Just had to take evasive action from Roy Nissany there, and that just sent us out wide, sent us over the sand, and absolutely nothing we're going to be able to do about that there. And that is us. Well, we're going to have to make a pit stop in this race, and well, you don't have to make pit stops in this F2 career mode there, so that is unfortunately going to leave us right down at the rear of the field there. Into the pits we come, already down in P13 there, and we're going to be down in P16, obviously, after we've made our pit stop in this race there. Not the way I wanted to finish off this Bahrain Grand Prix weekend, but we would come back out, we would try and come through to finish this race nonetheless there. You know, I didn't really want to just retire from the race right then. May as well get a bit more track time in this F2 car as well. Obviously the RSS V6 Formula 2 car. They're out of the final corner then. It's going to be P16 in the sprint race of Bahrain Grand Prix then. Not the way I wanted to finish off the first round of the season, but honestly happy that I was able to make it through to the end of that race. Nick DeFree would be able to come through for the race victory there, ahead of Louis Delatraz there, with Gunther, George Russell, Nissany, Markelov, Boschung and Lorandi finishing out the point scorers there, with Luca Giotto and Sergio Setacanra just missing out at the end of the day there. So yeah, I'm sure those guys are a little bit frustrated. Obviously, that is the way the F2 points work there. But unfortunately, we would still get the fastest lap of the race. I know in real life Formula 2 it works that obviously the fastest lap can only be applied to the person in the top 10. Unfortunately, with the points sort of totaler that I'm using, it doesn't mean that works. So we will still get the bonus points from the opening round of the season here, from both of the opening rounds of the season there. But Dorian Bucalacci, Arjen Miani, Nicholas Latifi, Sean Galea, Alexander Albon and myself would round out the finish there, with Fuoco, Aitken, Makino and Fukuzimi all retiring from the race at the end there. So very, very unfortunate. 4 drivers and effectively myself, obviously not really in contention either by the end there. So yeah, very, very interesting opening weekend to the F2 Career Mode. Obviously, I hope you guys have enjoyed. I sort of like doing this format as well. Obviously, we have it over the course of the real life weekend as well, obviously, but it will just be running every weekend between now and I think roughly this season's scheduled to end in sort of early January there. But Bolshung, obviously, with that dominant opening display, will still be in the lead of the Drivers' World Championship there, 7 points clear of Nissany. Nick De Vries would move up to P3, obviously, after that win in the second race of the weekend there, with George Russell and Gunther tied on 18 points. Myself and Louis Delatraz tied on 16 points there, with Alexander Albon just 1 point back as well. Markelov on 6 points, there, with Latifi and Larandi both scoring points in the opening round of the season as well, meaning 11 drivers have scored in the opening weekend of this World Championship. There are 9 are still yet to score, but I'm sure obviously the way the AI work in this series, everyone is completely even overall, so it is a big down to luck as well. Obviously, hence why Bolshung hasn't quite had the performance in the real life Formula 2, but currently leads the way as we exit the Bahrain Grand Prix weekend though. But although not every driver has scored, every team has been able to get points on the board. MP Motorsport currently on, at the top with Bolshung's points on at 31, Campos on 24, Prema on at 21, ART Arden are tied on 18, and then Carlin, obviously ourselves, Dams and Charoux all tied on 16 there as well. So half the teams are separated by just 2 points after the opening Grand Prix weekend there, with Russian Time on 6 and Trident with just 1 point on the board after the opening Grand Prix weekend. But there we are then, guys. Hopefully, you have enjoyed the opening weekend of the FIA Formula 2 Lando's Norris Road to Glory. I nearly called it the Williams Road to Glory there. Lando's Road to Formula 1 there, excuse me. But yeah, as I said, hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you're new around here as well and you do want to see more from this series, I would highly recommend subscribing, as well as the fact we are slowly but surely trying to close up to 10k subs as well, so obviously it'd be greatly appreciated if you could help me get obviously one step closer. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching this video. Make sure you like and subscribe if you're new around here, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time out at Imola.